Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for all of you for this on a short notice session. Mashallah, we have been blessed today that we have a presence of our co-founder of Islamic Relief, Dr. Hani Al-Banna with us. And inshallah, this sitting will be more fruitful, and we will, and I'm hopeful that we all will take something from him from this session today, inshallah. So I'm just waiting for all the team members to join online who are not in the office and working remotely. But meanwhile, we can start with the recitation of Quran. So if I will request Mahmoud, if you can, Bismillah. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Jazakallah khair. Bismillah. I will request first that if we will have a small introduction from all the team members, so the doctor can know us, all this great team. Maybe you can say that it is working for Turkey and Syria both together here. We have some presence of some team members who are supporting Syria team and team members who are supporting Turkey team. So, but jointly we are representing Islamic Relief. So thank you very much. So just we will have a small introduction from all of you guys. First, your name, your department and your position, and your association with Islamic Relief, for how long that you have been from Islamic Relief.
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. This is Usama Lari. I'm working as finance coordinator for Turkey program. I'm working here since 2015.
Thank you.
Tuğba Karagül'le from Fundraising Marketing Department. I have been working here for 3 years.
Mehmet Arifur, Senior Finance Officer. I've been here 5 years.
Şevval Güneş, I'm in Procurement Department training.
Fatma Kresh, I'm procurement officer responsible for health projects in Syria.
Enes Özkan, Finance Department, Finance Associate.
Emir Ataranlı from Jordan, admin department. I'm here since 11 months. Just
Doktor, hoş geldin. My name is Mahmoud. I joined Islamic Relief back in 2007-2008 and still with this organization.
Very good.
I'm Syria Program Coordinator. I also started 2010.
Well, Kandur, Procurement Coordinator, working for Syria Operations since 2015.
Murat Medorolo. I joined in 2019. I'm Senior Procurement Officer for Turkey program.
Rafat Hamdi, Orphan Department. I have been in Islamic Relief from 2020.
Very good.
Kehriban Pasmanje, I'm new and only 1 week. I'm coordinator of Orphan Department.
1 week?
Yeah, yes. I come from Humanitarian Relief Foundation, IHH.
That's why I know you.
Yes,
I saw you somewhere.
Yes, okay.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes?
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. My name is Najm Saqib from Pakistan, and I've been with Islamic Relief for the last 12 years, and I'm a finance and services manager here.
Very good.
We have some team members online. So I will start with Brother Yusuf. If you can just unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Yusuf Assami. I'm Senior Program Officer in Gaziantep office.
Mustafa.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm a little bit ill. My name is Mustafa. I'm working external relations manager as an external relations manager. I'm working in here around 1 year.
Oslam?
Assalamualaikum. My name is Özlem Bülent. I am finance officer. I over here 5 years.
Jazakallah. Thank you very much. So far, we have, mashallah, over to you. So I will ask now Dr. Hani to please bless us with some few words and some inspiration we can take from him.
طيب, so I need to be anyway. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Rasulullah. Thank you very much for just organizing this very for me important meeting, not for you. For you, but don't be important meeting. But I'm very happy to be with you today. I came here on some Monday to attend the book fair in Istanbul, which is the Arab book fair. We have a book that we published this year called The New Dimension of International Humanitarian Work, which is a good 22 authors writing in it. Some of them are operational, like yourself, and some of them are thinkers, like talk about philosophy, talk about culture, talk about history, talk about values, talk about media, talk about arts. And we had a talk yesterday, and we have another talk today. Anyway, I'm here not to speak, but if you want to ask any questions, I would love to answer. But I will start by showing you two logos, okay? I can just get the camera on my logo. Is it clear now?
No. Yes.
The two logos.
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay. One logo is a flower, white and green flower. The second is the logo of the 40th anniversary of Islamic Relief. Actually, which of them is more important to you? Is the Islamic Relief logo or the flower logo? This is the first question from me to you, so you can ask me a question later on. Which logo of them is important to each and every one of you? Go on, please.
What is flowers?
Huh? Flower, yes?
I love 40 years.
40 years, okay? Yes? Flower or 40 years? Flower, 40 years. Okay, I'm just counting. Who's going to win? Flower or 40 years? Now it's 2-2.
What does the flower?
No, don't ask now. Too late. Too late. Either flower, huh?
What is symbolized for?
No. I'm not going to answer.
So for that I'm gonna choose.
No. You should know that. But if you don't know it, I will see you around. Yes. Flower or 40 years?
Flower then.
Flower. Okay. Flower. Huh? Flower. Any 40 years?
Flower.
40 years, yeah.
Can we go for the two?
No. You can't marry two. You can't marry two women in Turkey.
Was it Arabic?
40 years or flower? Yes. Go on.
I already said flower.
خلاص, no. 40 years. Okay, 4-4 now. Flower or 40 years?
I think this flower came from maybe from one child.
Whatever it is. Which one of them?
Yeah, so maybe flower how like.
Flower. Okay, 5-4. Yes. 5 for the flower, 4 for the 40 years.
Flower.
Flower, 6 for the flower, 4 for 40 years. Yes, who else did not say? Sister. Nisha, you have to say, no. You have to answer. Flower, 7.
40 years.
40 years, 5.
40 years.
40 years, 6. Anybody else?
I think we are done. Now we are now second tour, on the second tour, brother.
No. And you?
Flower.
Huh?
Flower. I took the
Yeah,
flower.
you too. So 7 for the flower, is that right?
Yes.
And 6 for the 40 years. The flower means Srebrenica. Srebrenica, in Bosnia. And this year in July was the 29th anniversary of the massacre happened in Srebrenica, which in 3 days 15,000 people disappeared. 15,000 men and young men disappeared. Actually, the United Nations peacekeeping forces from Holland gave the city to the Chetnik, which is the radical extremist terrorist group. When we were attending the meeting in Sarajevo on the 11th of July, which 11th of July now became one of the days of United Nations. And the calendar of United Nations, 11 July means Srebrenica massacre. The representative from, I think, International Criminal Court, or I can't remember the organization, said we still have 7,000 missing people. They already take the remain of 8,000 plus 400 something people, but we're still 7,000. This is the flower. The 40 years is a movement. It's a movement. It's not an organization. Don't ever look at Islamic Relief as just an organization. You kill it. If you want to become a killer, kill it. It is actually a movement started 40 years ago, not only for the Muslims, not only for UK, not only for Europe, it's for the Ummah. So we started from nowhere to find somewhere to go everywhere. We're starting from nothing to look for something, then to do everything. You are not an organization. You are a movement. Whoever tells you that you are an organization, tell him, please sir, can you stand behind? We are a movement, we are a mover, we are a shaker, we are change makers, and we are creators of new society, and new hope, and fulfilling new dreams of people globally. Not only globally, universally. So you are a movement to the Ummah, for the Ummah, but not only an international movement, not only a global movement, universal movement. You know the difference between the globe and the universe? The globe is like a dot in the horizon of the universe. The earth and the seas and the oceans are a dot, digital dot, in the image or the digital image of the universe. And we are being created by Allah to discover the universe, not to sit on the globe. We're very happy to fight one another on a piece of land, but we are not very happy to discover the universe. It needs special quality, special people. and special direction, vision, and struggle to do that. So you are not an organization. You are movement, and you are shakers, you are change makers, and you are community builders, and you are universal, and you are ummah. Movement, not just organization. Okay? This is where you are now at your 40th anniversary. Don't celebrate your 40th anniversary by saying, oh, we have 40 offices. Hey! In Egypt, we call Tuz. Tuz in Egypt, and get lost. But Tuz in Turkish, salt. But as Egyptian Tuz, not the Turkish Tuz. This was actually, we developed it in Egypt when the Turkish were actually ruling Egypt. Every day, Tuz. The man carrying the soul, Tuz. It was Tuz. Then Tuz becomes, Tuz Fik. So, whoever tells you are an organization, tell him Egyptian Tuz, not Turkish Tuz. He does not deserve to become a Turkish Tuz. Because Turkish Tuz has a value. Egyptian Tuz has no value. You got it? يا مصريين انتم مغلبين الدنيا باللغة بتاعتكم. Now I stop and I'm waiting for your questions. Since I asked you, you succeeded to put the value of the movement ahead of the movement. Because the value of Srebrenica massacre was to prevent it happening everywhere and anywhere and to everybody. Yes, I'm very happy that the score was 7-6, 7 for the flower and 6 for the 40th anniversary. This makes me happy and give me a comfort zone. You said flower? Yes. Otherwise you could have been sacked. Okay, now the questions should come from you. Keep throwing arrows at me, because I've got a very thick skin. One day I was sitting in Egypt next to a farmer, and he was crossing his legs like this. Then he was not wearing any shoes or any slipper. And of course, the skin was cracked and very thick. He was just touching his skin. Found something strange, and he looked at it. You know what he pulled out? You know what he pulled out from his feet? Any? Nail. Nail. It was there, but because he had thick skin, could not feel it. I am this farmer. Have a thick skin. If you throw me with anything, I'll smile at you. Keep throwing. Who was the first to cut the ribbon?
Let me ask this question.
Yes, sir.
I think it is there since long time.
Huh?
It's in my mind since long ago. So from where you get this energy? So till this moment, yes, you're still young man, but you know, still you are here. I follow you on social media, so I saw your videos today in Turkey, tomorrow will be in Myanmar, day after tomorrow in different country. And sometimes when I look to those videos, I think, yeah, Dr. Subhanallah, mashallah, for the power he has. Sometimes I'm tired to go to bazaar and came back to market and came back. I feel I'm so tired to go to market.
I should answer. Alhamdulillah, wa energy is given to you by many sources. First of all, you have to believe in what you are doing. Then you have to be with the people that you believe that you are working for. Because being with the people, whether they are in Turkey or in Bosnia or in Africa, give you the power and the energy and raise you. Not only keep you on the ground, The poor people that we claim that we are serving are the pillars or the foundation of our resurrection and rise. The energy comes from them, from their smiles, from their dreams, from their talks about you. They say, what's your name? Najm. Najm is coming to save our life. Even if Najm does not have anything in his hand to give. Being with people at the time that they need you. When they need you, even if you don't have anything for them, give them assurance. Once you give them the assurance, they give you this energy. Does not let you sleep. I was very tired when I came on Monday evening. I went to bed in the hotel, which is not far from here. After midnight, I had a phone call from Morocco. A young, not energetic, super ultra energetic girl. Super ultra energetic girl. And she did not realize that actually it's after midnight here. She spoke to me when I was in bed for about nearly 45 minutes. Heavy questions. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, when you respond to her at that time, there is no limit of the energy that you can take from her. No limit. Energy is not something you take by a drink, is that right? Or by food, or only by dua. By dua is also can do that. But dua is intention and amal. So prayer, intention, niyat, prayer, salat, niyat, and amal. The three in one. قُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Just start with good niyat, then the prayer will come to you from the people. The power of the prayer, I mention it now because I mentioned it many times. A friend of mine in UK, he was the founder, or he is the founder, of an organization called ITHAR. ITHAR, working for Eritrean in East Africa. He had a cancer in the larynx here. Very difficult to treat. Sometimes impossible to treat. Impossible to treat. And he was diagnosed, the doctor told the wife and the girl, your husband is dying within a month or two. The wife was in tears, did nothing. The girl said, no, my father is not going to die. So because the young, and here's the power of the young people. They give you the energy. It's for me, sir. I am waiting it since yesterday. I am waiting for it since yesterday. Thank you for the tea. The girl said no. This was 10 years ago. What happened? One of the people from the organization rang Sudan. Rang Sudan. Were the camps of the Eritrea in the East Sudan. He told the people in the camp, Sultan is dying. Please pray for him. After Dhuhr prayer to Maghrib prayer. The whole camp, people made the prayer, Salat. But before Salat, there was the Amal of Sultan and the Niyat of Sultan. So Allah accepted the prayer. Sultan is still alive up till today. More than 10 years ago. So this is the energy.
So this is the real motivation.
Huh?
This is the real motivation.
About the story of Sultan. Sultan is still alive because of the three components. Niyat, Amal, and Dua. Dua without Amal, yes, but it's not enough. Amal without Niyat, yes, but not enough. But Amal, Dua, and Niyat goes together and will never let you down. Yes, sir? Did I answer your question? Now?
Yeah, I'll go to market.
Do some shopping for your wife. Take her with you. If you take your wife with you, you have the energy. Because your wife is the source of your energy.
For sure. For sure. This is like the right?
Yeah.
Yes.
For losing energy.
Huh?
No.
Be careful, huh?
His wife inside Syria, that's why.
No, but actually we have good Turkish here. They can roast you. Yes. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sister. Yes, brother. Don't be shy. We're in a free country. Allah al-Azim. You should be asking questions. You keep asking the poor people many questions before giving them the money. Why don't you ask me questions? Or make a statement. Huh?
We don't ask them. Meal department ask them.
Meal.
Monitoring and evaluation.
No. Meal and deal and the heel and the bill and all this kind of consultancy is fooling us. Yes. Yes, brother.
Yeah, Doctor, let me ask you something. Maybe this type of questions are coming a lot in front of you. And as someone who has spent some years behind you, with you, and a lot of platforms, but I still want to ask. I personally believe that we, as the Ummah, we have a heritage of very long institutions, especially serving for this purpose to serve the mankind in its own shades and grey tones. But what happened is that this knowledge lost, and I feel personally that we're still struggling from this loss, because I feel that
Is the knowledge or the ummah?
I'm not saying that the ummah is lost. I'm saying the knowledge is
knowledge,
lost.
yeah.
The knowledge is lost.
Knowledge of what?
Of doing the service, actually. Yeah.
He's talking about the history.
Yeah. And I know that you have been or still are very involved in having this institutional knowledge gathering, so that we can also, as part of the ummah, make some changes in the perception internationally to set standards. But I personally believe that still we are not there where we should be. So what is your advice for us who are daily involved in the day-to-day operations? Sometimes we are losing ourselves into minor things to keep this broader picture alive.
Very good, very good. You put the camera to me, sir, because you are the cameraman now.
Yes.
You asked a very important question which is irritating me, making me very angry, quite a lot, and making me repeating the message many times. First of all, as an organization, we don't care about history. Even the history of the organization, nobody wrote it yet. After 40 years, not only Islamic Relief, most of the other organizations as well. We don't care about philosophy, the culture of the local community, and culture as a whole. Okay? We don't talk about research studies. Okay? Don't talk about advocacy, big budget for advocacy. We talk about public relationship, but not external relationship. We don't talk about philosophy. This is why the information is lost. Because people who create culture through their research studies, philosophy and values, and send it to us. Let us too follow their culture, their philosophy, their values, and they write our history for us. That's why the information is lost. Got it? The second part of your question, which makes me mad. All of you and all the Muslim charities, regardless, say the majority, to be very fair, come here. To be very fair, are firefighters. Say it again, Firefighters have no time to think, have no time to read, have no time to comprehend, have no time to develop and deliver. Only, I want money, spend money, send report. So what? And this is why, this is my discussion with your seniors in Birmingham. Because I had the discussion with them, with at least 5. Said we don't have time to even, because somebody told me I wake up in the morning and have 150 emails, 120 emails. Each body should have secretariat. Secretariat should be empowered. Because the director should not do everything. The director's job is to direct, not to manage. Our directors are managers, not directing. This is a problem with understanding the job description of everyone. I wrote a piece of paper about changing the job description, allowing space of time to everybody to think, to read, to listen, to write, and to report. A part of his ordinary job. Maybe it will be 10% for the cleaners like myself, or the driver, or the guard, and 70% to the CEO. The CEO's job is not to sit in an office. No. He has to meet people, he has to defend the organization, he has to deliver a message, then he has to direct. The directors only. We're not to direct. I did not say to manage, because each director can manage or direct his own team. So I said 70% of the job of the CA to be this kind of direction and creating the greater vision. Then the directors underneath him will be 50 to 60% to 40%. That goes down. But each one of you in this room, if you don't have 20 or 30% of your time to think, you are dead meat. You are dead wood. You are firefighter. And you are working against Islam. You know why? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me why. Just tell me why. Don't say it.
Okay.
No.
Why? Sorry, why?
After 6 times,
Yes.
he has to be sacked.
That needs.
Because Allah in Surah Tawbah 122 said, فَلَوْلَا نَفْرَ مِنْ كُلِّ فِرْقَةٍ طَائِفَةٍ. And during the time of the war, don't use all resources to fight back. Small group of you should be sitting behind. Doing what? Doing what you are trying to ask me to answer. To find a way. Practical example of this was a story I keep repeating it everywhere. It becomes like a broken recorded piece. Khalid ibn Walid, during the time of Uhud, he was standing doing nothing, looking at the mountain of Uhud, and the people have the archery. Because they could not come there, because they are on the mountain, they can kill everybody. Not sure how many nights, 50 or 100. So the Muslims were defeating the mushrik at the very beginning. The mushrik were running. Some of those people on the mountain said, okay, the war is over. Short-sighted. Short-sighted. They just want ghanima, the booty. And they came down from the mountain. Soon they came down from the mountain. Khalid said, the war is not over. He applied the ayah when he was kafir. فَلَوْلَا نَفْرَ مِنْ كُلِّ فِرْقَةٍ. This firqa, this group, was observing. And when there was a gap, he used the gap and changed the defeat into victory. We do not do this in our organization. We don't have people to think for us, and we don't think for our organization. We are runner. Then what? If you have this 10 or 20 or 30% of your time to think, to report, to write your new ideas outside of your program, you will be able to produce the greatest idea for the organization. Who is in human resources here? No human resources?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yes.
Human resources.
And new, but.
Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to attack you. Human resources and finance will tell you this is very expensive. Of course, in the first year or two will be expensive. Till you get one idea to make the difference.
To give you value.
This idea might bring the millions of you every year. Because people have the time to think. Okay? You might have 100 million income. Well, while people are firefighters. But if you have got them to have a space to think, even the cleaner might have the best idea for you. Even the security man might have the best idea for you. Even the, whatever you call it, secretary will have a best idea for you. But it does not come like that. It comes when you give the space, the time, and the confidence and the trust to people. When I am coming to you as a cleaner, I'm not scared of you. I'm standing in the middle of the room. The workshop said, I have a great idea. Nobody will laugh at me because I'm a cleaner. Here, the trust and respect. If you empower your own people in that organization not to feel them down as a miserable. You know what? One day I was in Saudi Arabia for fundraising. The big office. And like the brother brought the tea, the one there who brought the coffee for me was Bengali. You know what happened? He gave me the coffee, I kissed his head. The man could not be able to believe it. He was giggling. Because
Why?
Recognition, respect. Not because he is a tea man or a coffee woman. I have a lot of coffee women photographed with me, whether from Turkish or from Tunisia. I don't call them coffee women. She's the best lady in Turkey, the best lady in Tunisia. See, when I visited Islamic Relief and the Qatar charity there 6 or 7 years ago, if you give the trust and give the space, you will have a lot.
A strong guy. You build a strong guy behind you.
You will have a lot. And you go from just international organization to become a universal organization. You got it? You cannot become a universal organization unless you have the space, the time to think, as well as the trust. People trust you as a cleaner, me, as a porter, as a security man. So I am like the chairman. Like why at the time of Khilafah, actually, Umar was stopped by children in the street. By a woman was actually telling him, Umar, you remember what? You remember that you used to be called Umair, little baby boy. Then we called you Umar. You used to play in the avenues of Mecca. Become a man looking after the camel of your family outside the desert. Now you are the Amir al-Mu'mineen. And one of his companions will go to respond to him and said, don't. So who is she? She is the woman of Surah Al-Mujadala. This woman was the woman that our Quran has been revealed for her to address her argument with the Prophet and with Allah about the rights of her husband. Surah Mujadala. You got it? I give you another example. At the time of the conquest of Mecca, another woman called Khawla. Nobody knows her. You know, when you're in victory, now we have the Kalashnikov, we have the flags, we have the everything. We jump and they found a very old, frail woman, nobody knew her. And they found that the Prophet ﷺ took his gown and put it on the ground, and she was sitting next to him for an hour, ignoring all the big leaders. Who's she? Who's she? She. At the time what? At the time of what? Of victory. He said, she is a friend of Khadija. Respect of the knowledge and the history and the value of his wife and her friends. With this, you can become universal. With ignoring this, you will never even become a local organization. You got it? So the duty on us sometimes that we have to search. But you go back to your bosses, say that we need to look why you are firefighters. Make the trend now in the whole offices of meal and wheel and heel. This is actually consultancy, new. Every few years they'll give you a new thing. Surf and birth and curve. مش كده برضك؟ مش something called surf, something called what's Oxfam did the manual for the national response. Sphere. Why don't you make something like this? You know why you cannot do it? Because you don't have the time to think. But you have the time to follow. At the time of 40 years of your age, you have to create your own flow and let people to follow you. Stop following the others. You have the resources, you have the history, and the resources with mental, what do you call it, cultural, or financial, or humanitarian resources. But you don't use it rightly. This is to answer your question. Yes, sir. Any more sisters? In Turkish even you can ask questions.
Yeah.
Well, speak Turkish. Go on.
I speak Turkish.
Yeah, go on.
speak English but not very good.
لا خلاص Turkish.
أنا أفضل عربية أكثر.
Arabic, Turkish, Urdu. We have Urdu, we have Arabic, we have Turkish. Anything else? يلا بسم الله.
بالنسبة لي أنتم ممثل معين متعلقة بهي العمل الخيري يعني مجال العمل الإغاثي. أنا تعرفت عليكم قبل أتوقع 14 سنة أو 13 سنة في الكويت في أثناء الاجتماع الانترناشونال مع الهيئة الخيرية الإسلامية العالمية مع
نساء
رئيس لا مع حسين عبي
مع عبد الله
حسين روج
حسين روج
يا أنا عملت معه يعني سنوات 13 سنة تقريبا مكتب الخليج. وشيء يعني نحن في مجال العمل الخيري يتغير كثيرا خاصة international relations في عمل الخيري. أما الإغاثة أوكي هي ثابت يعني هناك معايير شروط إلى آخره. أنا فقط أريد أن أعرف شوية. أنا أعرف Islamic Relief طبعا منذ سابق. أما بالنسبة للريليشنز متعلقة بالإسلاميك ريليف كيف يتم معايير وشروط متابعة وأيضا سياسة الإسلاميك ريليف كيف يبقى ثابتا منذ سنوات. أيضا هي يعني جدا قديمة كما العيشيش ولكن يعني إسلاميك ريليف تعمل international عيشيش داخل تركيا أوكي يعني كل شيء ثابت لن يتغير لن تكون international كبيرة. أما إسلاميك ريليف مختلفة لأن العمل في عدة البلدان خاصة في الغرب الشرق جدا مختلفة واسم أيضا Islamic Relief هي جدا صعب ليس سهل يعني أن تعمل وتجمع هي التبرعات بميزانية ضخمة لأن أنا عملي خاص fundraising and donor relations فهذا جدا صعب عندما تكون مؤسسة Islamic Relief. ففقط أريد أن أسمع منكم شوية يعني أتوقع أيضا أن
توكلنا على الله.
أترجم بالتركي.
لا تجي بالعربي. أسأل بالإنجليزي.
بالإنجليزي. Sister Kehriban, she asked the Christian about the vision of Islamic Relief, and one of the important things that she asked, one of the aspects of Islamic Relief. What is the standard aspects of Islamic Relief that is makes Islamic Relief as international, international and universal, as we say. So this is what the things that she wants to learn and she wants to know from Dr. Hani. Briefly.
All right. First of all, we are not one organization that relying on one source of funding. And this is from the very beginning. You talk about from 1990, when we have been registered in 1989 in UK, we looked outside UK for diversity of funding. Diversity of funding means that we have opened many offices in different parts of the world to raise money, then to spend money. So you have these partners giving you the culture, their value, their dimension of thinking from the very beginning, 34 years ago. Okay. Not only that, in 1993, Islamic Relief was registered in United Nations, 93. And this was a mean of protection of Islamic Relief because it's exposed to the all decision makers in the whole world. That's why when September 11 came, Islamic Relief was protected. Why? Because it is in the kitchen 7-8 years before September 11th. Then we learned from this institution. When we started to get money from European Union or ECHO. You know what happened? Tell me what. Tell me what.
Yes.
Tell me what.
What? Ask what?
It's
اسألي
very
what.
good.
احكي what.
Say what.
احكي كلمة what.
What? Okay.
Again.
What?
Again.
What?
What happened?
إصرار
I forgot now.
What?
September, not 11th, 7th or 8th or 6th. The European Union was late to respond to our application. You know what what happened? I picked up the phone and they rang the office in Brussels. Said we have applied 2 years ago. Where's our registration? Sir, it is a bureaucratic organization. We took time. I said, what do you mean by time? You asked for something, we gave it to you a year ago. So what stopping you from giving us the partnership agreement? This was before, just in September, but before September 11th. I was boom. If you boom for your right, you get what you deserve. At the end of the month, which is the end of September 11, September 2001, isn't it?
Yes.
2001, we got the letter of accepting our partnership. And actually, April 2002, we signed the agreement. Okay? But this is how we start at the beginning. That's why we take all these policies, procedures, and parameters from our partners. Actually, because we know the requirement. So we structured offices or departments in IRW to deal with this. To deal with that. It's not only fundraising, it's not only shaking hand with, delivering food and other. No, it's whom you know. I think when we were put in DEC, Disaster Emergency Committee of UK, we had CAFOD, Catholic Aid for Development. Catholic Aid for development. So I can't remember now. It's a part of Caritas. They came and told us, we're defending you. When the discussion happened during September 11th, in our absence, because CAFOD knew us, because Oxfam knew us, because United Nations knew us, because we have this kind of wealth of presentation and partnership. That's why we get all this experience to write all the policies and procedures that we still ahead of other organizations. Democratic organizations. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes? You just raise your hand. Anybody else? Yes.
I would like to hear from you directly about how that idea of Islamic relief, how it comes and how you implement and insisting on that belief or that thought that comes to you.
Say the question again.
The question again, I would like to hear from you how the idea comes about implementing Islamic relief on ground and how you insist and implement this Islamic relief thoughts into 40 years now.
Yeah. First of all, it came with no planning.
No plan.
With no meal or wheel or seal or heel, whatever you call it.
Just a thought.
Just like that. With no resources. With no resources. With no office. With no employees. Nothing.
You had niyet, amal and dua.
Huh?
You had niyet, amal and dua.
No.
Not yet.
We responded to the famine in Africa, which happened in 1983. And we discovered there is no Muslim charity in the whole of UK standing up for it. And we discovered that the people are affected, not only Christian, as the media was showing, Christian and Muslims. Very simple start. Some photographs from a brother in Sudan, just some photographs. Small amount of money. First is 20 pence from your cousin in Egypt, brother, your cousin, yeah. My nephew, one of my nephews, 20 pence at that time. Then a friend of mine in Birmingham University was doing his PhD in chemistry, I was doing it in medicine. Both of us went from street to street, nothing. 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 So if you say that I cannot start in this area unless I have somebody to give me fund, I said,
no, you can't.
You can't, but we can.
No, you can't. Yeah,
I say, yeah, yes. No, you can't. This is how it started. Nowadays, because we made many policies, and this my talk was yesterday at the book fair, about the more policy you make, the more strangulation you made to strangle your own organization. I have no problem with the policies, but when you have good policies, you have to get a direction. Policy, try to support where to go with the vision, but not to stop you. If policy is just stopping you,
no need for that policy.
no, we need the policy.
For that policy,
But actually, with the policy here, you have to have the vision and the drive at the same time. And both of them have to go hand in hand. Nothing, no one side will be stronger than the other. One man, one vote. Don't come and tell me I don't have woman representation. I tell you, get the Egyptian Tuz, not the Turkish Tuz. Very happy because I speak Turkish. The only thing is Tuz, or Lamba, or Oda, or Shanta. Okay?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum is not Turkish. Even they tried to make it in Turkish long time ago. Anyway, you know, they tried even to make the Azan in Turkish.
No, we didn't like it. It was not us. It was
Somebody.
It was our own.
Don't talk politics now. Anyway.
We're on the same page.
No, I'm turning my page. So when you look at it, we did not actually complicate matters.
Yeah.
And you know what? Say what?
What? What?
I was saying yesterday something about Wasim Ahmed, your boss, in the lecture. I said one day when I was in Baluchistan in 2002, just after the Afghan, the September the 11th, Wasim was an officer. I told him, what do you want to be? You know what he told me?
Yeah, he quoted in the meeting as well that I want to be
in your place.
in your position.
You can imagine that in another organization, if somebody tells the boss that, get him out. Get him out.
Get rid of him.
This was 2002. And he got it.
He deserved it.
I'm not talking about now it's going politics now. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. No, let's look at the first 6 CEO of Islamic Relief. I was the first. The second was Harun in his mid-30s. That means that he started in the late 20s. The third was Salah Said in the mid-30s. Harun was half Egyptian, half Irish. Saleh is Yemeni. I am Egyptian. The fourth was Egyptian, Muhammad Ashmawi. The fifth was Nasruddin from Eritrea, who also started at the late 20s or early 30s. And the current one is Wasim, who started few years ago at the age of 40. Those people were made inside the kitchen of Islamic Relief. If they were made at the very beginning with no planning, now we have to organize a leadership making program. Not 1 month, not 2 months, not 6 months, at least 3 years. And should be mentored by whom? By the most senior. Not just an officer, not just a consultant coming to regurgitate or vomit some knowledge to give it to me with different terminology. You know, Tuz, Egyptian. Egyptian Tuz. Huh? And you give them money. You get me a consultant to give 60 or 70,000 pounds to make my strategy, and I've got 6,000 employees. Know everything.
Support the trust and
If you give this 6,000 pounds to the employees, they will boom make a strategy which is the right and real strategy.
because it's made from the kitchen.
They know what they want. Every officer is of value. If you value the people, your organization will have a value for the community, and the community will value your organization. If you don't value your own people, if you keep hitting your wife, that's why your husband, or your children, they will run away from you. Or they sit, because they want to eat. They will never be good children when they grow up.
You should give them space.
To give them space and respect.
So create.
And this is what I'm talking about. Actually, this is how Islamic Relief still up till now. Those 6 or 7 people who have been created in the kitchen, who is going to be after Wasim? This is a struggle. You have to start what we call it succession planning. The one who starts the succession planning could be somebody like Wasim or better than Wasim. Could be a woman or a man. What's the problem? During Umar, the first director or the trade minister, what you call it, the one in charge of the market, was a woman. Was a woman like you. She was in charge of all the market of Medina. Come back to your first question, but we don't know the history. Al-Shifa was standing, and when she used to come to Medina, to the market, everybody, Al-Shifa is coming. Be careful. Be careful. When she goes around, they have the respect, and she's the authority. And the Umar say, what Shifa says, I endorse. Finished. don't come to me. If you empower them, you'll get what you want.
We have one question from online. Brother Fuad, yes, Bismillah.
This way.
This one.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام. من أنت؟
أنا فؤاد اليمني يا دكتور هاني.
فؤاد اليمني وأنا هاني اليمني.
فؤاد اليمني.
أيوة حبيبي أنا عارفك.
كيف حالكم يا دكتور؟ الله يعطيكم العافية جزاكم الله خير.
تفضل وتكلم معايا باللغة الأعجمية.
تمام إن شاء الله. Thank you so much doctor. So I would like to be there in the office, but today I'm out of the office. جزاك الله خير for all these efforts, and I mean, the discussion attracted me to go in further to ask more details once you discuss really more critical things that once we speak about the kitchen of the CEOs and how these CEOs have been made and what is the way of the selection. It came to my mind that during the long time of Islamic Relief working and the challenge that they are facing in terms of outside or internal or external. If we speak about internal challenge, for example, now we have spoken about the policies and procedures that it's really important to standardize the process and shouldn't be to block the process. It should, strengthen and go ahead to go further for the organization to achieve the objectives as per the standards. My question is, Doctor, not everything is written in the policies and procedures, and as we know, working in such environments is very complicated. Disagreement there, nothing is written to declare every steps of activity. So, how have you, managed such conflict among the senior managers there, and how things being managed and agreement being agreed among all the seniors members. The second point is, if we look about also the field office as well, is there also any approach or any plan that at the top management there that look in details what's going also in the field offices in terms of managing direction of the office, internal arrangement, clear the conflict among the members to achieve the goals of the organization. Might be my question a little bit straying out of the range of the discussion, but I attracted me because you have discussed such details about management and about the selection, about the policies and procedures. Jazakallah khair, Doctor, and all the others.
Let me answer the second part, then you remind me of the first part. The second part is very important to involve the field officers. Even we discussed it in the last IGA, which was in June, isn't it, in Istanbul here, that they should be a part of the IGA. Not only a part of the IGA, they should be a part of the board of IRW. Cannot just go with only the countries which raise funds. No. And we were furious. Listen to this, brother Fuad, about that the board did not invite the executive for the first time. We start this executive meeting the boards from the late 90s or early 2000s. How on earth you come in 2024, don't invite the executives to be there? And the recommendation was, executives should be there, they should attend as observers. Actually, we should communicate with them because they are the people whom their hands are in the deep water and burned by the fire. So you cannot go without them. That's the second point. Third point is, if the organization does not recognize the field offices, talk about the knowledge. The knowledge does not come from London, and just quote me, does not come from Paris, from Washington, from Toronto, comes from Sudan, comes from Bosnia. We celebrate the knowledge they provide us. Come from Pakistan, come from Afghanistan, come from the Turkish office who is dealing with the local community, with the Syria office, not from people sitting in a boardroom. Come from the people who are burned by the needs of the need 24/7, while we are having houses, cars, and safety in our places. So here, if we do not recognize them and involve them as practical and empowered partners, any organization will go wrong. When we had the discussion maybe 30 years ago, 25 years ago with World Vision, you know who became one day as the chair of the World Vision? One of the people from the field office. It's a term. A woman came. Islam does not tell you woman is something ugly or something stupid. Don't keep interpreting the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, actually that she is she was at a certain time of her life, the emotion becomes stronger than the logic, because Allah gave the nature to woman to love the children, to be the catalyst, to give the bond of the family. If she does not have the emotion, all the children will run away. Okay. Then lack of deen, yes, during the physical change in her body every month, of course she's not going to pray, of course she's not going to fast. So what? So what? Don't ever keep twisting the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Certain stage, yes, during this time, but after that, she's like you. Al-mu'minina wal-mu'minat, al-salihina wal-salihat, al-qanitina wal-qanitat, equal to you. Prophet ﷺ never said that the woman brain is less than the man brain. And he used to consult his wife, Salama, at the time of Al-Hudaybiyah, same, all of us, from the curse of Allah. Because the Muslim did not accept it. It was very humiliating to all of them. Omar and the others, oh my God! And they were so angry. He went to his wife, said, oh, Salama, I'm afraid Allah will curse my ummah. You know what she told them? This woman, he told her, Naqisatun aql wa din, get lost. What is the Tuz? Tuz. The Egyptian Tuz. Okay. You know what I've done? Go and have the fadl. Shave your hair, slaughter the animal, and they will do like you. Because they did not make the Umrah. And they went out, slaughtered the animal, shaved his hair, and everybody was because of the advice of this woman. You said, Naqasatun aql wa din. Tell your people to understand that Islam is not a text that we repeat like parrots. Islam is a text that was implemented for life to save the life of others. When we understand it. This is your second question. What was his first question?
This the ways of management, ways of management. He was talking about the ways of management that we have.
The criteria of how selecting the CEOs.
The best example for this, the current CEO. Two people from Islamic Relief. Two young people or two people from Islamic Relief. Was a big decision. Big competition between both of them. It's right. It's very healthy. One of them is more senior in age. The second one is junior. The decision came to one of them. At that time, they said, we don't want anybody from outside because we have qualified people, whether Mr. X or Mr. Y. And the decision came actually to get the young one, the younger amongst them. This was in a very transparent way. Somebody might try to push the candidate, which is normal. Very normal. I tell you what, come with me to the time of the stabbing of Umar in Medina by Abu Lulu al-Majusi. He said to his son, take those 6 people, the most learned and companion, put them in one house, and if they don't choose Khalifa or Amir Mu'mineen in 3 days, when the 4th day come, kill them. They chosen Abdurrahman ibn Auf to be the one who is actually going to make what? The democratic process of choosing the Amir Mu'mineen. I say it again, democratic process of choosing Amir Mu'mineen. Say it again. We call it democratic process. Who did it? 1440 something years. Omar and Abdurrahman ibn Auf. They chosen 2 people. Osman radiallahu anhu and Ali radiallahu anhu. And they got people to go. Even the one who was going to tell them in their houses, you are being chosen. Okay, was a young man. You know what he asked them? Tell this young man before he went to anyone else, which one of them you are siding with? He said, I side with Ali. He said, actually, don't say it. It's your own opinion. Then he himself, listen to this. Talk about democracy. He himself went door to door to consult everyone in the household of Medina. Ali like we're doing that. The flower or the 40 years? Ali or Osman? Somebody say Ali, somebody say Osman. Khalas. Both of them are suitable. Both of them are some of the students of the Prophet ﷺ. The young leaders. Maybe Osman is older. But khalas, the people choose Ali and Osman. This house say Ali, this house say. Till at the end of the day, before Fajr prayer, he went to the mosque and made 2 rak'ah and brought all the Muslims to the mosque, which was the parliament. Saying them, are you going to agree on the decision that I'm going to announce? Said yes. Sure, yes. The decision is Osman. This process of democracy and consultation was celebrated when it becomes German, when it becomes American, when it becomes Russian, when it becomes British. But we do not celebrate it when it becomes Omari. And we don't say it to the people so we can actually make our leaders accountable for this. Door to door. And who? The one who is in charge of the decision. And after Fajr, he announced it. After 3 or 4 days consultation in a very small area. This is the foundation. I'll conclude by saying another thing, Brother Fuad. إن الحكمة من اليمن. الإيمان يمني والفقه يمني والحكمة يمنية وهاني البنا يمني. But this was not in the hadith. This was not in the hadith. المهم, what I was saying, I forgot now. I finished by saying the one who established the social principles and the social work was Khadija. I am pausing because I know what I mean. I am pausing because I believe in what I mean. I believe in what. Why? And even you gain an officer in charge of psychosocial support. That's right. Where is she? Don't tell me he's a man. Is he a man or a woman?
We don't have.
You don't have, okay. Okay, whatever. He should be a woman. Sorry, not he should be a woman.
He should be.
We say they, but
No.
confused.
The individual should be a woman.
Yes.
The individual who run off orphans should be a woman. Don't expose orphans and widows to men. A lot of scandals within the Syrian nation. Don't ever expose the widows and orphans to men. In one of the camps in Chad, after Darfur, they found that the women who had babies in 1 year, the number more than the married woman in the camp. And they start to investigate. They found that the drivers, not the CEOs. So if the drivers are doing this, what about the CEOs? Tuz. So when you look at it, psychosocial support started by Khadija. When the Prophet ﷺ came to her, oh, I can't hug you. She hugged him, she kissed him, she covered him, she comforted them. This is psychosocial support. The shock, at the time of shock, you have to have somebody who hold your hand and give you maybe a glass of water. Smile, that's it. Khadija did it. Then the assurance of his drive during his life before he became a prophet. Wallahi inna Allah lan yukhzika abadan. With the name of Allah, Allah will never let you down. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we celebrate Durkheim, Freud, Kant, the others. But you don't celebrate Khadija. The problem is in us. Come back to your question, brother. In us, do not dig down or not digging down deep in our history to find the treasure and the pills of social work. And you come and give me all this imported. Make your own new terminology. Redefine the definitions. We have that. You have the resources. Redefine the definition.
Yeah.
Why not? Make your own definition. Once upon a time, I just stop with this because I know that I took too much time. We created a word called Creationitarianism. 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 I was delivering a speech in Minnesota in 2006 or 2007. And the Muslim community were just going to throw me with eggs and tomato. But the professor said, you don't know what he's talking about. They are non-Muslim. Creationitarianism comes from creator, from creatures. Humanitarianism comes from human being. So the legislator of humanitarianism is you as human being. But the legislator of creationitarianism is the creator. And this is your new terminology. You find your own God as a human being, no problem. Make him to be. But God is different, it's the creator. It is the time for you to have the time to think, to produce. To answer your question again and again and again. If you don't have the space to think, you cannot do what Khalid Murid did, actually, and change the defeat into victory. Why the German football teams are always winning at the last 5-10 minutes? Why we're being defeated as Arabs in the, what do you call this cup, the Olympic? I don't want to say countries' names. We don't trust ourselves. In one of the football games, Turkey was ahead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Till the minute 70 or something like that. Then why should be defeated? Why? You are ahead, you scored one goal, score the second. You are playing with the same people. They don't have 4 legs, 2 heads, 4 arms. Carry on till the end. Why they carried on till the end to change their defeat into victory, not only to a draw match? And this is where it's in us. The lack of confidence in ourselves.
Maybe also they follow what our religion, they follow the good part and we forget that part.
That could be an answer. But actually, even if the non-Muslim, even the kafir, even the mulhid, the one who curses Allah, astaghfirullah azim, if he does well or she does well, Allah will never actually deprive them from the reward in this life. Because they get the reward. Because they did very well. How many Muslims won the Nobel Peace Prize? What do you say? It's a Christian. Where are you? Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? You can do it. Do it. They are doing it. They're working very hard. When they stand before Allah on the Day of Judgment, it's a different story. It's nothing to do with you. But during dunya, they work hard, they become billionaires. They work hard, they become millionaires. They work hard, they become thinkers, they become philosophers. But you don't work hard. I said, oh, Allah will help us. Allah will not help you unless the three things. Say them. Niyat, amal, and dua. Amal and niyat for the people. So the dua will come back to you from the people. Yes, sir? Now I give it to you because I took too much time.
Thank you very much. Well, James, I think have you taken away from doctor? MashaAllah, very good. I hope there will not be any more questions, or do you have any?
Actually, I have, but
No, خلاص, okay, let him. Yes, Bob.
Okay.
This way. Yes, sir.
Yes. Since the establishment of Islamic Relief, with the passage of time, was there any update on the vision? Or change? Maybe?
The vision.
The vision.
Okay.
I have also another one, but should I ask it now?
Ask it.
No. The second one is that I see from all offices that they rely on fundraising departments to collect funds for the projects. Why not we invest the income of this investment, we use it for our projects. And we are collecting funds, okay? There is no fund generation tools for Islamic Relief. Why not invest in one project? This project will give us an income for our funds.
I mean actual investment.
Yeah.
Okay. The first question was?
Change of
vision. Change in vision.
I left Islamic Relief 16 years ago. Okay. I am responsible for my vision. Okay? Now it's your time, and it's your right to ask for the vision. Because any organization cannot go without a vision. You ask your CEO, you ask your director, you ask the international CEO, you ask the board, where are you taking us to? Okay? The first, 2008, 24 years after I was there, the first 24 years, I can be responsible for my vision. Because my vision was a part of, not only my vision, but was a part of a discussion and learning experience at that time. Nowadays, we need to ask strongly what vision we are taking. Not only what policy we are following. Nowadays, the human resources are forcing us to follow a policy. Good, but not good enough. As I said, an organization is like a bicycle. I've got two wheels. One for the policies and one for the vision and the pioneering. One for the structure, no problem. And both of them should be empowered. So the vision will be put before the policy. So the policy will be created to protect the vision and to save the vision. But if the policy becomes more powerful, there's no vision. You clear? This is not only for Islamic Relief, there's many organizations. Second question?
Why you depend on collecting funds rather than investment to generate funds?
We have this idea of waqf as an independent entity. That's why Hishmat was employed. Remember, Brother Hishmat was employed in 1999 for the Waqf or the Middle East. And we started a department of Waqf at that time, aiming that actually within 5 to 10 years it will become an independent organization. Alhamdulillah, after 20 years it became International Waqf, isn't it? Organization. Okay? To look at this, we started with TIC, TIC. TIC is a trade organization, recycling. It used to raise 5,000, 500,000, 1,700,000, 400,000 as a net profit. But Islamic Relief wrongly was using it as cash cow to add it to the deficit. It should have been this money, because it come from the trading company, to be put in buying properties. In the investment, we have how many buildings? Or 3 buildings or 4 buildings in UK. Okay? We have 1 in Bosnia. We have 1 in Mali. We have 3 in Canada. We have 1 in USA. I think we used to have 1 when Belgium was with us. In Belgium, and we have 2 in France. France is not with us anymore. Actually, what else? And others. This is the first step of investment. Because investment has, my advice to people who are going to do investment on Waqf, you don't do it yourself. Give it to the people who knows what investment is about. Don't let the chair of the organization to decide. Let the experienced individuals, not just somebody that I employ as an academia. Tuz, the Egyptian one. So what? Get some. Now, with us as what do you call it, the Muntada, the World Military Action Forum, we only have £350,000. I've been going around to buy 1 or 2 properties for the last year. Then the trustees told me, please, find somebody to advise you. I said, after 1 year, you left me alone. I did not, for the first time, I did not become angry. If this happened 20 years ago, you can have seen somebody else. But anyway, I went to somebody investor who was multi-millionaire, which used to be one of the people I used to mentor a long time ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago in UK. Said, yes, okay, I have an organization which owns properties. I can look for a property for you. He can. Then I can rent this property from you, not for the market rate, because he's doing it social services. Maybe double the market rate. If I could have bought this property with this limited amount of money, actually, I will end with maybe making 1,000 or 2,000 pounds every month. But with him, it could be 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. Here, I asked the people, actually, who knows the trade, not the people who are very good friends of mine or faithful people. It doesn't work. That's why the young woman told Maulana Sayyidina Shu'aib when she was walking with you know what? Sayyidina Umar was not a very handsome man. Was dark, with curly hair, but his brother Harun was more handsome. But the way he treated the 2 girls by walking in the front and telling them, if you want me to go right, throw a stone to the right side direction, because he does not want to see them in front of him and the devil will play in his mind. You know what, the girl who liked the behavior of Umar, not the sex appeal of Umar or the photogenic Umar, Musa, sorry, Musa. Yeah. So Musa, he's very, I find my chemistry come closer to his chemistry, now we are reacting together. What kind of Tuz is this one? Not the Turkish Tuz, the other Tuz. And you know what she told her father? She is the one who chose him as a husband. Daddy said, what? Get him, employ him. He's a good man. He's a good man, Daddy. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know? I want him to be my husband. It's another way. The Muslim woman can ask for a husband, like the Muslim man can look for a wife. So what's the problem? If the father of the girl tells you, Sonny said what? I want to let you to marry my daughter. In our culture nowadays, oh my God, his daughter is, oh, how can you say that? The daughter of Shu'aib said that, not you, and you, and you, and you. Go back to your question, knowing the history, the right history. Yes, sir. Now you are married? Don't get another one, like me. I succeeded after 6 times of failure. I was very handsome, but I was refused, alhamdulillah. 5 times. Because of the mothers. But Allah gave me the best. You know why? Because the other 5s were very good. But with a mother like this, you know the Egyptian mothers in the old movies, the black and white. Oh my God, oh my God. But Allah was planning for me, not going to UK only to get the doctorate of medicine, but for Islamic Relief. I didn't know that. 1977, 78, he knew that I am going there for something else. That those nice girls are not good for you. You'll be refused. I was refused 5 times. Then, your auntie now, whom you don't know her name, yeah, well actually, sister, she's half Turkish. Now they are very happy because her grandfather.
Turkish.
Eh?
Turkish Tuz or Egyptian?
No, Turkish. Her grandfather was Amir Alai in the Ottoman Empire.
Like you then?
Huh?
Like you?
No, but actually it's very, very good actually. And their father, even in the what do you call it, the birth certificate said was a Turkish father. Okay. So anyway, this is beside the point actually. Allah was planning for something that I didn't know. That's why He gave me the one, the Turkish. Huh? She is very happy. You know, first time to smile. لا حول ولا قوة. يعني I've been talking for an hour, and now you smile and very happy.
But you know that every
successful, very proud.
Every successful man, there's a lady behind.
Look at her now. Because she's Turkish.
This is Turkish.
الله يرحمه. فيش فايدة. ما في فايدة.
If you want to be more comfortable to continue this statement, so we can stop the live.
No, this is for everybody to know. But anyway, but actually, my vision was very limited. Allah's plan was for you to get somebody. I don't even believe that some of the new people or old people have met her. She came to Islamic Relief 2-3 times only, mostly in the weekend. Now look at the camera at their face, please. Put the camera at their face, and especially her face.
Well, I have answers for this. I'm silent, but I have.
No, it's your expression. Natural expression.
Like this, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your speech, and thank you very much all for this, for your time. If you do not have any other questions, online team, if there is no any other questions, so we are going to conclude it here. Thank you very much. It's a long session, but I hope you have taken some pearl of gems with you to take this and a flashcard with you from Doctor. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for your
Allah bless you, inshallah. Thank you, people on the online.
Jazakallah khair. We are going to close the session here. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.